What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting video for both myself and I'm sure for a lot of you. This video has been heavily requested through Instagram DMs, the comments, and also some emails about the seat covers for the GX. I had talked about this in a few videos and I really just wanted to not rush the process, and I wanted to make sure that this video was a lot more informative for anybody wondering about the quality of the product and also how do you do it, because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Never done this before, but I'm going to try it out. Kind of get a close-up here. One of the things I do like about these is they have this cool stitching, and they put the RRW logo kind of in the seat itself. The leather is very nice looking. The cool thing about these is they come with all the right clips that the OEM seats will have. These babies right here are particularly, in my car, one of the worst parts of the leather, and I'm sure it is for most of you, because it's the armrest, you know, especially the driver's side one. Mine's filthy. What I think I want to do here is just go out to the vehicle and give you a first-hand look at how bad some of the leather is. It's probably not the worst example of leather, but it's pretty bad, and I just was really excited about just refreshing the entire inside of the vehicle. So this RRW seat cover setup will do just that. And without further ado, let's just go out into the car. This is the type of thing you're going to start seeing in some of these older GX examples, and it's just, you know, wear and tear over the years. The leather's not so bad in this car, but stuff like this is pretty grimy. So the driver's seat definitely has some wear on it. It's, you know, not the worst, not the best. Passenger seat is about the same condition. Kind of open this back up, and then along the back here, you know, you see there's cracking all throughout the leather, and it just kind of gets worse from there. It's the same kind of situation on the other side. There we go. So this is our first seat. I think the first obvious step is to begin removal of any of the pieces here. To get the leather started, you actually can pull out, there's a zipper line along the back here. I guess what I should probably do is remove these top headrests. Boom. There we go. So you get that piece out. The more access to this leather we get, the better, because everything's tucked in around here, so we're going to need to get to there eventually. So let's just take this out. You don't want to rip these cables up, so if you just pull out, that gives relief and tension. That enables you to pull out this piece. So it's got a little, like an S bend in it, and that enables it to be released. So pulled that one out, and there's a second one here. Pulled out of its spot, and then reach down and pull this piece out, and that should be good. I also see a spring here, which I almost feel like I should undo, so undo the spring as well. not sure if you can see. Spring. Well, you get the point. This spring connected from here, this little hole, and then connected to this little piece here. So I'm going to remove that because I think it's required to take this top and bottom assembly apart completely. So that's how it is as is. We now have access to pulling that off and kind of pulling this whole thing out from underneath. Just gonna go ahead and start removing more stuff here. After looking down in these edges here, and I realized that there's some sort of a clip mechanism. There's a rod going through the foam, and there's a rod that's kind of fed through this seat cover. There are these things called hog rings, and what they are is it's a little ring that holds the two rods together, the rod that's on the foam of the seat and the rod that's on the seat cover, and that keeps a nice taut seam for any upholstery. We will need to use some hog rings and some hog ring pliers, which I just ordered off of Amazon. So luckily on Amazon, I'll put the link in the description. Hopefully I can expose and show enough light in here so you can actually see. The thing that holds it together, if this will focus right, is just this little ring here. So what we need to do is clip that ring just so we can get these off. I was able to cut through it a little bit, see if I can cut more. Ah, there we go. If you spin it and orient it the right way, you can get it to release. There we go. So there it is. This is a thing that is apparently known in the upholstery world as a hog ring. We are back in action. It is now day 2 of the RRW seat cover installation. Continue without much delay here. So I got this, it was like, I think it was only $15. Comes with like a pack of 200 hog clips, which is more than enough for what we need, and then the actual crimping tool to. So I guess you just kind of open these up, slide your hog clip down inside of there like that. There we go. So kind of got to close in on itself there. There we go. So curled it in. But yeah, let's get started. So there we have it. All the hog clips are removed, and the first piece is finally off. Next is to try to get this top piece off. Alright, so there's a bolt right here in the center that holds these two pieces together. I've already taken off these side bolts, so really this is the middle is the only thing that's holding the top and the bottom from coming apart. Alright, so now got the top and bottom apart. So I guess we'll just go right ahead with it here. I'll start putting this thing on. I'm going to bring this piece up and essentially just transfer them from one end to the other. Slide that through. So here's the rod for that piece, and that goes in here. So next, to get this fit up here all nice, there are holes here that need to be cut. So we got a real nice fit up there, which I like. And then we'll hammer those in to place. And they locked in from the back side, so that is good to go. There's holes here that need to be cut. These are for the child safety seats. One of the child safety locks that was on here. Those things kind of like clip in place. You just kind of push them down over. Cool. Fits up in there nice. There we go. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm feeding through the sleeves for the metal rods that then get hog clipped to the fabric, to the foam. Seat number 1 of 4 done. This so far has probably taken me a total of, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours over I think 3 different days I've done this. So by no means is it for people who don't have patience. It's very tedious, but the reward is high because, in my opinion, this is going to change the entire feel of the inside of the vehicle by having new leather. So in my opinion, I think this is well worth the effort. Would I have paid somebody to do this for me? Yes, I probably would have, depending on how much it would cost. If this is going to cost me $500 to $1,000. You know, anywhere up in that range, I'm gonna say no, and I'd rather just do this myself. But for like 200 or 250 bucks, if somebody wants to do this for me, like, I would pay that all day long. So if you're watching this and you're a DIY guy, like, go for it, do it yourself. It's not too bad. Just crank some tunes and just, you know, try to be patient with it. But also, if you're not interested in the DIY approach, let me know what the upholstery shops charge to install this, because I'm kind of curious myself what I would have paid had I had somebody do this. Part of me is thinking it's probably not that much, so that might be the route some of you might want to go. But overall, the fit and finish of these is awesome. I'm going to go through with a leather conditioner cleaner to clean off any of this residue that I got from the table and any of the tools and stuff on here. So when we're all done with all the seats and are in the car, we'll go through and we'll clean these and condition them so that they're protected from UV and so they have a nice soft feel to them. So we'll move on to the other piece of the back seat. This one is much smaller. It looks way more straightforward. I probably don't have to take the whole thing apart either. It doesn't look like it. Looks like I can just slide it right on. So that should be easy. I think the hardest part was this back seat for the entire install. So everything should start moving a lot quicker from here. Alrighty, so I decided it made sense to kind of take a little break from the time lapse just because the front seats have a slight difference than the back seats. So the main difference here is, if you can see here, you can see these metal coils winding. These are actually the heat elements for the heated seat, and they have a wire harness here. I think I'm just going to use thread, and so I just have this sewing kit here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just do it in one big piece. I'm going to start off in one corner here. I'm going to start threading, stretch over to here, and just kind of work my way around until I have the whole thing kind of tacked down. And it really doesn't need to be too precise. It just needs to be in there to hold things down while we're putting the seat cover on. Once the seat cover's on and they're in place, they shouldn't move around a whole lot, because everything will be sitting nice and snug. So that's the route I'm going to go. I'm going to try that out, but let me know in the comment section if you guys come up with any other clever ideas for attaching that to the seats. Alright guys, there's probably a couple things going through your mind right now. First is probably, hey, that's not Florida in the background. What's going on there? And second off, you're probably also thinking, why are you wearing a jacket in Florida? Well, to answer those two questions, I will say that I'm actually up in Pennsylvania, and I'm taking the GX out here and into the woods behind the house I grew up in as a kid. I'm here visiting family, and just kind of goofing around, driving the GX, and getting to enjoy some hills, which of course we don't get down in Florida. So here we are, we're in the GX, we're 1,000 miles away from Florida, and I thought that it would be a really good idea to just kind of give a little bit of a 1,000-mile road trip review on the new seat covers. I must say, they look amazing. I'm sure most of you are probably thinking the same thing, because these seats were in pretty bad shape and they were in need of some TLC. So with these new seat covers, I will say that it looks pretty awesome. The vehicle looks like a completely different car on the inside now. It feels a lot more fresh and new. Overall, I feel like doing these seat covers was one of the most exciting modifications for this vehicle, mainly for me because like this armrest here and some of the driver's seat was the most disgusting. The leather just looked gross, and it really showed its date, showed how old the vehicle was. But you know, with these RRW seat covers, they look great. I love that there's this little intricate details with just like a little RRW logo on the side here, which I'll show in some of the pans of the interior that I'll do. If you follow some of the same steps that I did in this video, you know, the Hog Clips, I highly recommend. Do not skip that step, because you will not get the nice tight fit with the nice creased seams. You will not get that without the Hog Clips, so that is a must do. Let me know down in the comments below if you're interested in any more details about how I did this install. I filmed the entire process through and through, and I did talk in some of those steps, but for sake of keeping this a little bit of a shorter video, it's still going to be pretty long. I cut out and time-lapsed a lot of the install process because I didn't want to bore people with the redundancy that there is in doing these. I showed the details of one, and then I time-lapsed the rest. But if for some reason people are interested in more detailed install and all of the steps I did for each seat, I still have the raw footage of that, and I can upload an extended version of this video for people who want to do this themselves at home. If you like the content of this video, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be producing much more videos like this in the future. So whenever you subscribe, you'll get notifications whenever I upload a new video. So that being said, thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.